things a little bit easier. Hello, welcome back. I took a little break, but I'm back now, and we're going to pick up right where we left off with the Chiron through the signs, and we left off at Virgo. So let's just jump right into it. And let me preface this by saying that I'm reading from Barbara Clows' 1980 something Chiron book. I think it's a textbook, like required reading kind of book, for me at least, when it comes to astrology. I've listened to a lot of her work via other astrologers, so I do think that she lays really critical foundation and makes some really, really cool claims and theories astrologically as well, and more specifically, that are in this book that are kind of, they're just fun things that I hadn't considered before. So yeah, especially about Virgo. So this is very important. This is maybe the most important one. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So Chiron reveals its true essence in Virgo, the sign which the centaur rules. At this time, Chiron is in Virgo and Libra for only 20 months every 50 years. Therefore, the Virgo dynamic was felt for 20 months during 1943 to 1945. In our time, it was last felt in 1993 and 1995. In return, 1993, 1995 for a short visit. Natives with Chiron and Virgo are our... I'm sorry for the interruption. There were just kids playing at the park very loud and extravagantly. So natives with Chiron and Virgo are our greatest source on this dynamic because the historical documentation is small. Subtlety and exactitude characterize these individuals who are coming into their own due to the sighting of their planet. As we struggle to describe the healing centaur, we create a new definition of Virgo. The low form of the Virgo dynamic is compulsive and Saturnian. Saturn control is being used to hold the greatly feared Uranian energy in check. Men with low Virgo tendencies often are compulsive workaholics who express Uranus with kinky sexual behavior. I haven't read this book in a while. I forgot what's in it. Chiron was in Virgo 1891 to 93 when the plutocrats were born. The women tend to hold absolute power in the office or home and then lose their control at parties. The energy of Uranus is avoided and feared, and aging is Saturnian instead of Uranian transformative growth. The high energetics of Virgo develops a keen understanding of the positive use of Saturn, which is to bring matter into form but not to hold it. The ability to allow Uranian transformation matures with time and evolves into a deep intuition about perfect timing. One of my clients who taught me about high Virgo energy made it possible for me to write this book. She is an outstanding yoga teacher with Mars, Mercury, Chiron, Venus, and Jupiter and a stellium in Virgo in the 10th and 11th houses. She has mastered the ability to form Saturn in yoga postures and move it right into Uranus awareness so that electricity moves freely in the body and chakras. The plasma, okay? That's the electricity, okay? Another client who's a priest taught me a lot about lower form Virgo dynamics. This client takes his religious training, Saturn, too seriously, is scared to death of Uranus, and is afraid of any thought outside the realm of doctrine. Reality is frozen in a Saturnian time frame which blocks normal evolution. As already stated, Chiron rules the exact time and place where transformative energy, Uranus, interfaces with form, Saturn. The house which contains Chiron and Virgo expresses the way in which this native is working on locating transformation energies on Earth. The priest just described has Chiron in the second and is very stuck in Saturn form. He is also creating new Catholic ritual forms in the Orient. He feels Uranus but blocks his power. Another client builds roofs, previously described with Chiron in the second house. And he actually loves giving Saturn form assistance to homeowners. Generally speaking, Chiron in Virgo in the second, fourth, and seventh houses causes problems with Saturn fixation. Chiron in Virgo in the third, fifth, ninth, 10th, and 11th favors comfort with Uranian transformation. All people with Chiron in Virgo require counseling because the past definition of Mercury ruling Virgo has created a negative illusion. The incorrect Mercury rulership helped explain the mental Uranian qualities of Virgo, but where was all the compulsion coming from? There has been a damaging tendency to define the Saturn side of Virgo negatively, as if somehow Virgo just created this compulsiveness out of thin air. Even work, which is ruled by the sixth house, has been treated negatively. The healing power of the sixth house and work has not been understood deeply enough, and poor Virgos have just been left somehow to deal with it themselves. But Chiron ruling Virgo demonstrates that the Virgo dynamics can be built. Virgo can be the essence of love of earth healing combined with joy and higher consciousness. The spirituality of Virgo has been shown to me by one client with Chiron in Virgo in the ninth and another with Chiron in Virgo in the 11th. Both clients came alive before my very eyes when their inner dynamic was given outer form by coming to know the warrior healer within. The client with Chiron in the 11th and a stellium squaring the lunar nodes realigned his consciousness, and his access to Neptune is actually palpable. He is Christ-like. The client with Chiron in Virgo in the ninth was on the verge of destroying his nervous system with excessive Saturnian control. He has put his Saturn energy into karate and his Uranian powers into photography. He does nature photography, and the unseen creatures, the devas, are triggered in the subconscious mind of the viewer. We have much work to do on this critical archetype. This is the healing archetype because only total passionate love of Saturn form on Earth and letting go into Uranian power will bring Neptune bliss and compassion back to all who live on Earth. So that's Chiron in Virgo, the synopsis. And that last paragraph there was the key theme that I mentioned in the previous video, I think, about the major theme, or one major claim in the book, and one of the major themes was about how the Kundalini energy is awakened from the root chakra to the crown, to the third eye and crown, and so on. That energy goes from Saturn to Uranus to Neptune as it moves higher up that energy. And I have these two books. I wonder if I should get them. Oh no, it's really coming down. Where's my dog? Where's Callie? I'm so glad I walked them before this. But then the other major theme and claim that, or theory that Barbara Clows prostrates in this book is that one of the main signs that rules over Chiron is Virgo. I'm not going to go too much into it because I haven't read this book in a long time, but a lot of the claims come from the archetypal energies of Virgo being a highly potent healing energy, and Chiron being that exact archetype of being the wounded healer, so to speak, but being a healer nonetheless. So I want to read through some of those claims about the Kundalini energy awakening and also the Virgo Chiron relationship, because I feel like that is just really interesting. It's not like it needs to be talked about. It's just something to think about when we are talking about which planets or which meteorites or miniature planets are ruled by which sign and what fits best. It just brings certain arguments as to why Virgo would fit best as ruling ruling over Chiron and being the main subjugate of that. So yeah, that was that. And I'm sure you saw some Virgoan themes in here. Nothing bad. I love how Barbara gives, a balance between how they can be used for higher consciousness and how it can also be used to hold you back, sometimes unconsciously or subconsciously. So yes, and that is, I feel that as a Virgo moon, I've definitely been there, being a little too Saturnian sometimes, not allowing the fun and the creativity to come through, has stopped me from getting to that higher level of energy. But I will never take that, like, uh, that understanding and that aspect away from me, because I love it so much. I love that I can tap into the groundedness and the realness and not spiritually bypass certain things going on in life. And it really does. It's all a balance for sure. That's Chiron in Virgo, is that it's a balance. So yeah. Thank you for joining me for another video, and I will see you guys in the next one.